News yesterday in qualifying, big crash, second round for Kurt Busch, a winner this year, a winner at Pocono, a NASCAR champion. We found out just minutes ago that he will not race today because he failed concussion protocol in the car. Making his Cup debut will be Ty Gibbs, the 19-year-old out of the Xfinity Series. Kurt saying this in a statement: NASCAR has done a great job of putting the driver's health before competition, and I respect the decision they have made. I'm still having concussion-like symptoms from yesterday's impact in qualifying. The tests demonstrate I'm still recovering. I will continue to follow the medical team's recommendations and appreciate everyone's support. Thanks to 23XI and their efforts. Let's get back on track in Indy. Now, we have found out NASCAR is going to give him a waiver so he can still compete in the playoffs as long as he qualifies once we get there. Jamie, take us behind the scenes of the concussion testing process for a driver in NASCAR.
Yeah, well, a little shocked by that because it didn't appear to be that big of a wreck. But at the beginning of the year, all the drivers go through a baseline test, and it's essentially on an iPad. It's timed, it's numbers, letters, some shapes. Seems really simple when you do it. And this is the first time that we've seen anyone held out of a car because they couldn't pass that. But after a wreck like this, you go to the infield care center and they ask you to simply retake that test. Most of the time, the drivers are frustrated because they're like, I don't need to take this test. But obviously, in this case, Kurt has not been able to pass those tests, so we'll be out of the car today.
That's kind of the off track. Now let's go with the on track. What are the racing implications, Larry?
Well, first and foremost, we only hope Kurt gets well very quickly. And you know, they were fast yesterday in practice and qualifying, trying to get some momentum built before the playoffs start. But the only thing, he's going to get the medical waiver, which means he's still eligible for the playoffs, but he will get no points whatsoever for today. And the only way that becomes a factor, of all of our single race winners, Kurt is pretty far down the ladder, but the only way that matters is if we get 3 new winners over the next 6 races. I honestly don't think I see that happening.
Now I go to Ty Gibbs. You're 19 years old. You've never driven one of these cars, and you make your debut under these circumstances. What challenges does he face?
Oh, a lot of challenges. First off, this is a tricky racetrack to have to go to. But the other thing is just trying to find the limit of this car. If we rewind to the beginning of the year, I go to Fontana, the first downforce type track we went to. Think about how many wrecks we saw in practice. Think about how many people we saw spin out yesterday in practice. To have to get in that car and push it to the edge, kind of know where the edge is. He will have to kind of take baby steps, I think, in this first stage to kind of learn the limit of this car. And hopefully he doesn't step over the limit.